Welcome back to Space Engineers Complex Creations. Now, the base has been touched up a wee bit, and I have added on those extra wee blocks there that I was talking about, ones that just come out there to sort of hide that conveyor block a wee bit and transition nice. And then I've added a wee bit of blue to it just to sort of break it up a bit, and then I've added a wee bit down here. So that is that. Also, good news, I have come up with a new area in the Space Engineer series that I'll be doing, the survival series. I have come up with a scenario as to how it's going to go, and on the mods as well. Still in work in progress. I currently have discussion on Discord talking about the mods that will be used in the series. So I'm just waiting for a few people to get back on that, and then what I'll do is I'll start recording the series, but it will start soon enough. This episode is being recorded on a Monday, which is probably the same day that it'll come out. It'll probably come out later on. This is just coming up at 12 o'clock, so it'll be out by 5 o'clock or so, and hopefully it will start recording the new series tomorrow, which will be Tuesday the 26th, is it? Yeah. And I'm planning on recording all them episodes all the way up to the 24th of October, where City Skylines 2 will be coming out. Now, I did do a practice run in the new world that we will be working on. It will be created from scratch from the start. I'll show that in the first video. It'll be literally just start from scratch again. But I just done a sort of practice run on it just to see what it would be like, because I didn't want to jump into things and be like, oh, how does this work, or how does this mod work, or whatever. So yeah, couple of things I want to do in this here episode. Call this survival ready or whatever, but we need in this episode to design a blueprint of a small grid vehicle that is really cheap but does what it needs. So let's get started. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear all this here first. And it's going to be small grid. I need an advanced rotor, and it's also going to have wheels, left and right. It's also going to have what do you call it? A battery, which will be one of these small ones. Has it got small one? Yeah, it's got that. It's gonna have an O2H2 generator. Is it? I just can't remember at the top of my head. And then it's gonna have, well, it's gonna have the battery, O2H2 generator, oxygen tank. Well, it'll have that there for starters. And then it'll have a vent, which will be the small black one. Air vent fan. Could fill seal room with oxygen or extract oxygen from the atmosphere. Let's get this one. And we'll need an O2H2 generator, we'll keep that. And a gyro. Now there's a couple of other things missing there, but I need, buggy cockpit. So these need to be in small grid. Now, this needs to be made as cheap as possible, because whenever I done the practice run on the world, I spent 3 hours on it, just sort of getting used to it, so that we can start off the bat and whatever. And one of the things I noticed was how slow it was to get resources. So I think what we'll do is we'll focus on that in this here episode. Also, let's lock that rotor lock. Now, let's start off with the fundamental basics. So I'm just gonna, there we go. Now, let's start off with this here. So this is gonna be our main shaft. Now, big thing is the battery needs to be left in a way where it can be accessed at all times, and it's gonna be not this battery but this one here. And I'm gonna put it, you see, facing that way there. And that's what we want there. Now it's going to have a cockpit, but it needs to have cobalt. See, if we use this one here, that requires cobalt because you need that for the metal grids. Whereas this one here, the buggy cockpit, doesn't. So, what about this one here? Industrial cockpit, that needs metal grids. So this, it makes sense to use this one here because it's cheaper. Let me see. And it doesn't have any, oh. Why is it only 2 blocks wide? Well, that's no brainer. It's gonna have to go this way. Bothering me so much now. Right, so that's good. That's not what I wanted, but anyway, it is what it is. So that's the cheapest cockpit you're going to get, and then what we're going to have on the back of it is access to the things. We'll need a medium cargo container. So I'm going to swap this for this. This is going to be a medium. There we go. So that's going to go here. Is that in the middle? No, it's not. That really does bother me now. Why is it only 2? Surely it's not the only one, is it? Well, what's the difference? I see, this is 3 wide. And it's got a port in the back, but I'm not sure what you would use that for. So that's that. Let me see. Saddle cockpit compact. Not sure what that does. I might just use it for the port. Yeah, I like the other one for the port. So let's use this one here. What's that one there? Does that take... See, this one here, cab cockpit doesn't take any steel grids, whereas this one does. So we've got a cab cockpit as well. Oh, I didn't mean to swap that. What's that got in the back? Well, it's got access to those. And it is 3 blocks wide. That's cheap enough to make. Bulletproof glass, what does that need to make that? I need to check it now a second. That's cheap enough there. We just need to... Yeah. So what'll happen is, that's... Got that in the bottom, alright. Then, let me see, number 8. Because you want oxygen to come into that. This thing needs to store oxygen in it. And I also need to be able to fill up with oxygen as well. Alright, let's start from here. Just trying to get something basic here. Right, so that has to go there. That's the O2H2 generator. And then you have a 6, which is the oxygen tank. That has to connect with that, regardless what happens. And now we've got those both sides. And now we need to add, what do you call it, a large cargo container. It has to go between that, I forgot. Large cargo container has to go between those two there. Which I don't have added, no. Let's add that down. Let's add that. And that needs to go between, to which then it goes to the oxygen tank. There we go, and that's pretty much all that sorted. Now we just need to connect this to the cockpit, and it bothers me that that's up like that, so it'll have to connect on like this here. Because you want the cockpit to be able to fill up with oxygen, so you don't have to keep refilling the bottle, because if you're going long distance, you know, that's going to be a bit of an issue. And then we'll put a vent on the side of this here and a battery on the back of this. That's really good. That bothers me so much. We could put conveyor tubes going down and over for that, but that's just more resources. This is supposed to be as cheap as we can get it. It's not more for aesthetics, it's just for what it does. Right. We can work with it. But then that also has that there under it, so we could utilize a couple of parts here. No, that's alright where it is. That's okay there. So that's got access to that. So now we just need to attach our wheels to it. And then put a gyro on top of it. And that gyro is just for controlling the bikes and all that there. So that's number 9. Let's put that on here. That's, what does that use anyway? A gyro doesn't use any metal grids, no. So nothing on this here so far uses metal grids. That's what we want to avoid because that needs cobalt. And the one thing I've noticed is that the cobalt is very hard to get on this place that we're starting on. I don't want to give too many spoilers, but just one of the things I've noticed. Then, what about these here? Does this use... These are cheap as well. These are beam blocks. So let's use some... What's that there? Scaffold block. Oh. So let's use some of these here. So these are cheap enough to make. They're only 1 block or so. So we can go. Let me think now. So that can go going across there. To which then it goes a 3 left. What's this? It's 5. 2 by 2, 3 by 3. 3 by 3 should be okay. And this is going that way. Wonder if that can go in a bit. I can, yeah. Let's do that. Maybe we'll take it back another bit. I know I'm being a wee bit backwards with this here, but we'll need to put that in the middle. There, and number 4. There we go. And then what this will have then is like a bumper on the front of it. So there's a particular one I'm looking for. It's got like a this here on it. That there. Beam block half. Maybe it's a different type. There we go. And then base. This is like a bumper on it. There we go. Half block. I'd much rather that pointing up the ways. No, something like. There we go. That's just like a bumper on it. So you drive into it now, it just hops bump, and then we can put number 3, a wheel on here. That can go on there, and number 4 on there. Now it's out slightly wider than the back. That's all right. And then we'll do the same thing here with the girders. I understand this is supposed to be as cheap as we can get it, but it is what it is. And then a half block. Ooh. And then the end piece, maybe. There's a piece there I'm looking for. I suppose that there. Oh, that's actually that's actually too far down. That it's too far down. It needs to go there. Do like the smaller ones, so I'm gonna go with the smaller. And here as well. There we go. Now we've got a bumper on the front and a bumper on here. Now we could add one up along the side of this, but there's method to my madness here. So pretty much what's going to happen here is when we take this over into the survival world, we will connect the battery on first. So for example, this here will connect to the base, power the base up, and then we'll build off this here, so we will get a projection of it. This is just used for collecting resources. That's why we have the medium cargo container as well, so we can fill up. You'll be able to put bottles into this here as well, so you can fill it. And then while you're driving around, you've got your oxygen as well, and oh, the vent as well. We need to put a vent on it. We'll put can you access to the front to put your stone in it, so we'll put the vents on the other side. Put those on there and here, and they'll be set to take the air in. That's good. And then that's as good as we're gonna get. Yeah, so the whole thing is powered. We won't need hydrogen. Is going to be, the jetpack's gonna be turned off anyway. The only thing we'll be able to use it is to get out of a hole, which is a one-time use. So that's why we're gonna keep it for that. Just going to change this for. I'm gonna swap that around for something else. This here. There we go. And then maybe we'll put some lights on it. So we'll put, I do like these ones, and I like these ones. So number 5. they can go up on here, so we can. Oh, can they go in the front stuff? No. No. It's a bit of a shame. So we can put them up here. I want them as high as we can get it. And then we'll put wee tiny lights, these here going around it. Does that look like there on it anyway? These are just to illuminate it so you can see it regardless where you're standing, or if in a storm, whatever, you can see it. And they're going to be red. So let's set it up. Oh, let's see. Now we can drop that there down. And we can set this here up. So let's do that. Control panel. So what we'll call this here is we'll call it the let's call this block. It'll be one of the first rovers we use on it. So we'll call it something such as what do you call it? We don't want to call it rover, it's too basic. We have the mule, which is for storage. That's more for like in the future where we can sort of expand stuff. But we'll call this one here the oh, what will we call it? The one was called the mule. What would we call this one here? It's for just the assistant, so the I don't want to say the horse, it's stupid. I would come up with a different name, but at the moment let's give this here proper renaming conventions anyway. So these offset lights, they're gonna be red. Give them high intensity and fall off. Let's just see what they look like. Oh god, no. How far can you see that? Should be able to see it from about... Yeah, that's good there. As long as you can see it from a distance, that's all you need. Let's actually just adjust it from here. See now radius. Fall off. I think that'll do. Yeah, that'll do. So you can see it around. And then the front lights as well. Let's do those ones. They're going to be radius, intensity. Them going forward. Yeah, there we go. So you can see where you're driving around. What does it look like? We could call it the pony, because it's a small. Let's say it's just like it's just a smaller mule or whatever. I know it's like a different thing, but it's supposed to be like a smaller version of what we're going to be using. Well, we could. It's got everything we need in it to sort of survive, no auction and that. So we could call it the wheel aid or something. Medical, I don't know. It's really hard to come up with names for these sort of things, but I want something that's good. let's call it the. Well, let me see now. Let's go for the basics, right? So it's got an oxygen tank on it. That's for our oxygen. I don't want to call it survival engine because I think that's a bit. The survival truck. And you can't really call it survival truck because it doesn't have a survival kit on it. I don't know. We could call it... The mule is the mule. We call this... Let's go with... I'm gonna call it the what do you call it? I don't want to say the truck. Basic truck. That'll do. And then it'll be the BT, will be the acronyms for everything. So you'll have BT Airfan 1, Airfan Fan 1, Air BT, BT. So all these here will have this here going on it. And then a BT. It'll be actually MCC. Medium cargo container. And then the O2 generator. And the off-road wheels. They're going to be on their own group as well. And the other thing as well, we need to make this here in a way where it can actually be expanded. So maybe what we'll do is we'll maybe we'll try and design this here in a way, or maybe we'll design the mule in a way where we can just add on to it. Saves us having to build a whole new vehicle on that. Because at the end of the day we do have that mod installed where it's what is it called? Something resources where it only gives you back scrap. It gives you 45% back of what it's worth. There we go. Let's see now, so let's do the spotlights first. Action tank, and let's do the offset lights. Oh. I just need to read that test. Let's read that one. And air vent. Cockpit, gyroscope, and then the wheels. There we go. Now, let's get this here set up. So, same thing as before. You're going to set the battery to recharge. That's going to recharge on and off. We're going to have the lights. The off-road wheels. Let's do the lights independently. So this here is going to be toggle block on and off and toggle block on and off, even though it doesn't need to go off. No, we'll leave them on. Actually, they should stay on all the time. They don't consume any energy. It's different if whatever. These here are going to toggle block on and off. But their main purpose, let's set that up first, is actually take air in. So it's going to depressurize. That's what it needs to do. Right, next thing we want all blocks. O2H2 generator, let's turn that on and off. Gyroscope will leave on. Be able to turn it on and off. Everything else will stay on. The oxygen tank will stay on. BTS, they'll stay on. And now we'll do the thing with the wheels that we talked about before, where what you can do is you can, well, we need to set up the grips first. So we've got the wheels. So that's right to, why is this? Oh, I've done something with the wheels. So let me see, I'm gonna have to rename these properly. Left one, and this is right one. Just need to make sure these here aren't named properly, because right 2, that's alright. This is left 2. There we go. And let's save them as 2 separate groups. So we'll keep all the wheels as 1, and then we'll put the left 2 and right 2 as off-road wheels back. I'm actually going to save this one here as all. Delete that. There we go. So that's your all, and those are your back ones. Okay. Okay, let's see. Groups. So you've got your back. So they're going to invert steering. So they'll go the opposite way, but you should be able to turn the steering on and off first, and then invert your steering. So this is going to be similar to what we had with the other vehicle, where you'll be able to adjust them. So, right, let's change a couple of wee things here with the speeds. So all of them first. Let me see, steering angle, we'll go with that. Power, we'll change that to 50%. Strength, I'm gonna set, leave that at 30. Height offset, we want that as high as we can get it. Friction, 60%. Speed limit, we don't need it to be that high. Kilometers per hour, I would say, oh, see, I'm used to doing with meters a second. So let's go with 60 kilometers an hour. Doesn't need to be that. Propulsion off right and steer off right. No, that's okay. Nah. Now let's get a quick save of this. Now I'm gonna change the date to change it to that so we can see it, and let's give it a wee color scheme as well. Yeah, let's give it a quick color scheme. So we'll go with something that's, do we want like maybe like an amber color? Something a wee bit more closer to an amber, something like that there. That'd be cool. Yeah. Something that you can see it as well. And then what we'll do is the front of it, we can go for like a nice grey bumper, or we can go for black. Bumpers on it can be black on it. There we go. We'll change this here as well. Nice wee colouring scheme. Yeah, that's spruced it up a good bit there now, so you've got your bumpers on it. What about black vents? No, I don't like that. No. With the lights on them. Can be black. Yeah, I like that. And then what about silver wheels or white wheels? Does that actually look like it was white? Oh, I like that. That's nicer. Let's go with that. I like the orange and white. So to colour that in. Change that in a second. right mess of this. And then the two front. There we go. White and orange. Yeah, looks good. So we'll call it, yeah, we'll leave it like that there. Right. Let's just quickly this here because this needs to have a right backdrop on it for saving stuff. There we go. Basic truck. Now let's take it for a wee spin to see how it handles. So it doesn't tip too easily, does it? We could set the gyro to override. So what is it? The speeds are doing 15, so I think we'll go with double that. 30 meters a second is high enough for those wheels. So 120. Yeah, it's fast enough. Let's see how it handles. I gotta turn it off, number 5. So it should be just the front wheels. Just want to see what it's like. Handling over different terrains here. There we go. Just want to see what it's like. And then we've got your oxygen-rich environment in here. And you're speeding up or left there, as you can see everything. We could adjust the speed as well, but I'm happy enough with that there. This is only just to get places quicker because you currently walk at about 10 meters a second. We could probably boost that up. An ore detector would be good as well. Although we want to save on resources because we can just use drill, we just drive until we see these patches on the ground. That's all this here is for. It handles pretty well. I think we can up a bit. Let's go with 200. Just as long as you don't go too mad on it. Shimmy, crab over. That's that there. Yeah, it's alright. So if you fall into a hole, I want to see what it's like going up mountains and stuff, so let's go over here. We'll drive over here and just see what it's like going up big hills and stuff, because one of the planets that we will be starting off has quite high terrain and bumpy, so I want to see what it's like going over various different hills and that. And then just need to check the battery as well. They'll be able to last in this. You'll be able, or should be able to turn the wheels off. They do consume, which is another thing we'll put on the toolbar. Right, let's bring it over to this hill here. It goes fast enough to the liking. So that's why the gyro's on it, so we can adjust it when it's in the air. Could put an override on it that stops it from going too mad. Alright, let's see what it's like going up around here. Oh, it's a wee bit laggy. Oh, that's what the bumper's for. go. Gets up there fairly nicely, so it can climb mountains without an issue. What about stuff like this? What if you were to go on something like that there? You had to go over it. That's very good. Okay, that's what the bumper's there for. God, there's enough bad ruts in this here. I just want to see what it's like going around these. That's the rest of the bumper there, is it? We just have a small bit in the front. Oh. Oh. Oh, she rolled. I want to know, is it easy to roll over if you were to roll it? That's the other thing as well we need to be sure of. Right now we can't. Ah, there you go. You can. So just adjust it. Just with the mouse, it will get you out of where it is. Now this is extreme terrain. We probably wouldn't be anywhere near like this sort of stuff in where we're going. But the main things is, if you were to tip this, would it be able to flip back over? As long as that gyro's on it, that's all that matters. Alright, let's go on up. Oh. Let's go up this way. Now this is more like it here. This would be more like the train you'd be on. Oh. Could put more wheels on it, so if it does roll, it'll not blow itself up. But realistically, I'm not going to be like driving the... And if you're stuck, just use the gyro. And see, this is where I'm going to use this here to get... Oh. So it does handle pretty well. There we go. No issue. Switch that off. Doesn't seem to like the grass too much. Oh. Yeah, the lag seems to go up whenever it's in grass. It's a bit troublesome. Takes a good bit of force, so it does. Oh, keep it level. Yeah, happy with that. You wouldn't want too much strength on it either. Alright, let's see what it's like going down the hill. Like if you were to ram this, let's go back towards home. If you were to drive this mad. Oh. What was that? What was that? Oh, we've struck the see, in these sort of scenarios you would... Oh, she's rightly stuck there now. Oh, it was the gyro we hit. Let's see, let's go for... Try and reverse here. Trying to snake it out. Let's go with number 6. No, she's stuck there. So the gyro is very important. So you could put 2 gyros on it, have one turned off if it's too sensitive. But that is pretty good. Like, we're not going to be on that rough of terrain. That's a bit extreme anyway. But happy enough with that, and I think it's good to go into the survival world as a blueprint that we will develop. That's the other thing as well. I need to check to see if the projector is I need to check to see if projector costs grids. Projector. Small grid. Does it consume any small grids? It doesn't. It's cheap. It's very cheap. That's good. So we can project it. The next this here vehicle won't be used in the survival because this here is, well, it's a flying machine and we're not going to be allowing flying machines on land unless we're going into space, and only in space. So we have that. The next thing I would like to make in the next episode is, let me just quickly get the what do you call it, basic truck. The next thing I would like to make, let's just put these here beside each other, and the mule. See, is there much difference between this and this? Very little, and in fact this one here has the port on it, so yeah, that will be one that will be used, but we could do it in a way where we could recycle this into that. I would need to sit on the ideas of the design for a bit, because that cab has a space underneath it for putting one of those there under. So what you could do is, in theory, you could run cargoes the whole way along and then have this here coming out the back of it. It is very doable. Yeah. So we've done the same thing with that, only that's going up instead of down. It's raised there, but that's doable. The next thing I would like to make, if possible, is some sort of a machine that can carry trailers. So for example, if you imagine this here with a rotor part in the back of it, and you were able to carry like different types of trailers and different things, it means then you don't have to bother with the cab and all the unnecessary stuff. All you do is you need this here, and like it'll carry something. So for example, if you wanted to go and shoot down, I don't know, like base something, like it could have a trailer on the back of it with all the weapons on the back, or like one with like a drilling machine on it, so you can reverse into stuff and drill stuff. Just something that you can put on the back of these that it is robust, that you can do different things with. And the likes of this here would be the best thing for it, because you can just stick a rotor on there fairly easily and attach different trailers onto it. It's more versatile. So that's something to think about in the future, is like different types of trailer connections that can go onto these here and do different things. One of the things I was thinking about was, if you had some sort of like, say you had a thing on like pistons, you know, that stood up, and all it is just a box that comes up and over this here, and it's got your guns and all your other stuff on it. Then what you could do is you could reverse this here into it, connects up with merge blocks and your connector ports or whatever, and then it pretty much treats this whole new thing as like a removable like hood that goes over the whole thing. So that could be used as extra armor, it could be used as weapons, and it could have like a, like a few drill attachments on the front of it. So all you have to do is reverse into it, pick it up, and then lift up your pistons and drive around with it, and then when you're finished with it, take it over, unmerge the whole blocks, your connectors, put your pistons down, and then you can use something else. So just something that we can think about in the future, just more things to expand on this here. So I'm going to end the episode here. Thanks again for watching. That has been very productive. We now have one of these here vehicles. I just need to tally up just how much iron that would cost to make, because it is fairly expensive. The things like the lights and a second vent is not needed, and the bumpers, there's something that could be added later down the line. They're just more for added protection. But as long as you have the basics, and that's all that matters. So is your wheels and all that there, which is very easy to do. It just takes a while to get it. But yeah, that's pretty much as good as we're going to get. Right, so that's it for this here episode. Thanks again for watching. If you have any comments or any suggestions at all, do drop them down below, or visit the Discord channel that is linked in the description. Follow the Discord channel for the schedule as well as the information board. There you'll be able to see what games we're playing, as well as when those games are coming out onto YouTube. If you're enjoying the content, do consider subscribing and drop some like if you enjoy what you see. As you know, it helps show what people are interested in the most, and I'll try and focus on those areas a bit more in the future. So I'm just going to quickly, I'm actually going to do a couple of wee things to this here. So that's saved as speed limit is 60. Let's go at 180. I think we'll do is we'll save that as a new blueprint, because I've added a couple of wee new things to that. And that's going to be the basic truck. There we go. Okay, so that's it for this here episode. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you in the next one. I would like to give a massive shout out to the channel donators. You help make these videos possible.